Hey guys, so I'm going to cry an unbelievable amount in this video. Forewarning, if you don't like crying, if you don't like sad things, please just check out my next video. I have been putting this off all weekend and I feel like I just need to say it so it's said and I can move on, because right now I'm really having a hard time. So I'm already gonna cry. I want this video to not just be an explanation about my kitty, but I want to show you how good she was. So on Friday we lost our kitty. As you can see, I'm having a really hard time with it. So, as some of you may know, we have a kitty, and her name is Snickers, aka Mutha. 8 maybe so months ago, she was diagnosed with kidney failure, and she is really old. I've had her since I was 10 years old, okay? I'm 31. She was almost 22. And I don't recall my life without her. I don't even remember what life was like before having her, because I was a little kid. I was dressed up as a Spice Girl and I was in 4th grade, and I'm 31. That is my entire life almost, and she's been there through everything. And to some people it does feel like it's just a cat, you know, it's just a cat, but she's so much more than just a cat. Like, if you really think about it, like, I have so many ties with her. She was there through my whole childhood, through my teenage years, through my 20s. She was there when my mom was around. We've had pets be born and pass in her lifetime. That's how old she is, and that's how long we've had her. I'm sorry, I'm crying. I can't. And so like 8 months ago, maybe a little bit more, I think it was like in maybe August of last year, she started sleeping outside, and she liked to always be let in and out. That's just how she is. She liked to always come in and out, and she wanted to be outside a lot more, and that's unlike her. She usually just wants to sleep inside, but she was just curling up in this little patch of grass, and I thought, that's odd behavior. So I took her to the vet, got her some blood work. Turns out, and I take her to the vet every 6 months and get her blood work. I do that with all my cats just because I want to keep up, make sure they're healthy. And 6 months prior, I had taken her to the vet, and her kidney values were like at the high end of normal, and they were like, let's just keep an eye on it, bring her back in 6 months, and we'll see what, you know, what her values are. And when I did, she was in like advanced stage kidney failure. It happened so quickly. We didn't even notice the signs because she's not the kind of cat that would show, you know, much. She just like a little fighter. Like, she just didn't even show anything, and then we didn't even notice until it's like, that's just odd behavior for her. So took her in, she got diagnosed. We immediately started doing everything, started her on a kidney diet, started her on phosphate binder for her kidneys, giving her fluids all the time, getting her, you know, blah blah blah. And then we took her in and got her blood work rechecked, and her values had gotten better. But then she started refusing the kidney food. She would not eat the kidney diet that we were putting her on. She wouldn't eat any of that. So then they said the best thing that you can do is just get her to eat in general, because she'll just start losing weight. And like 2 years ago when I brought her to the vet, she was like 14 pounds. And then when I brought her to the vet, like, you know, when she was diagnosed with kidney failure, she was like 8 pounds. And I was like, whoa, that's a huge drop. And then over the last 8 months or so, I mean, she has become full-time care, like full-time. I mean, feeding her upwards of 20 times a day, small amounts here and there, getting her fluids, getting her, you know, changing her water bowl out like 3 times a day, so it's fresh cold water, whatever she needs, bringing her to the vet all the time to just get her checked out and stuff like that. And she just hold on, you know. She just, her fight never gave in, but her little body just gave out on her, and I tried everything that I could to make her healthy. But at the end of the day, cats get kidney failure so often. And anyway, I took her to the vet on Thursday and got her fluids, and they weighed her and she was down to 4 pounds. And this is after her eating a lot. She eats a lot, but she had kind of slowed down in eating, and so I thought, okay, I need to get her fluids. And that's really skinny. She was really skinny. And I looked at the vet that day and I was just like, I don't know. I don't know how much longer I can let her go through this, you know? And then on Friday, we woke up in the morning and I thought, you know what? It's not gonna hurt, so I'm gonna give her a appetite stimulant, because the vet had given me some medicine that makes her want to eat. And when I gave her that, because she was just really just licking gravy, she really didn't want to eat. She was hungry, but she just didn't seem like, I don't know, I don't want it. So I gave her appetite stimulant, and then 2 hours later, I'm in the middle of filming my Urban Decay Game of Thrones video that morning, which I started to film, and then all of this happened. I'm in the middle of filming it, and I get a text from Zach that says, come downstairs, she doesn't look good, she's howling and crying, and seems like she can't get comfortable. So I run downstairs, and the medication that I gave her was making her hallucinate. And I didn't realize that was one of the side effects, because I had given her the medication 3 times and it worked all 3 times without that side effect. But I think her body just got so frail that the medication just was overkill, and she couldn't get comfortable. She was looking at me like she was confused. She was so she seemed uncomfortable, like she couldn't lay down. And so I called the vet and I was like, they're like, this can happen sometimes, let's just wait it out, see what kind of happens in her system. And as the day progressed, she walked up the stairs, and she was having trouble walking anyway because she has arthritis in her back hips. And she walked up the stairs and laid on this bed right here. And I just knew that it was it. And I couldn't get over the guilty feeling that I was what caused it, because I gave her that medicine to try to help her, and it didn't help her. But I have to remember that I didn't cause her kidney failure, and the medicine worked before, and I was just trying to help her. But it feels really bad to know that you made her feel uncomfortable, so I laid with her for about 5-6 hours on this bed, just watching her and telling her, you know, she couldn't hear or anything either. She was just a mess, you know, she was so old. But I was just telling her I loved her, and she just wouldn't get up. She even peed on our bed because she didn't even know. She was just incontinent at that point. This is all happened this day. Before that, she was using the potty box and everything, and this day she just wouldn't get off our bed, like, this is it. And so I made the decision that I didn't want to see her go through worse than she already was. She already was struggling to walk. She barely wanted to eat. She lost so much weight. And I think if I didn't make that decision, she would have just held on and deteriorated to her own detriment. I think that she just wanted to hold on, you know? I mean, nobody wants to die. And as much as I tell myself, like, everybody dies, everything's born to die, like, I know that, but it doesn't make it easier to make that decision for something else. I don't like being the reason that she's gone. And I had to ultimately be the one to make that decision, to let go of a friend that I've had for 22 years. And to some people, animals are just animals, but I don't have kids. And she's full-time for me, you know? And it sounds dumb to some people that don't understand it, but my animals are not just animals. They are part of my family. And in some ways, I mean, in many ways, I spend more time with them than I do my family, you know? And I love my family, of course, that's not what I'm saying, but like, because that's the thing, is like, I spend, you know, I'm home, I work from home, so I'm with her all day long, and they just have their own little personalities, their own little quirks. And my cats, you guys know this, I'm a cat lady, and I have a bunch. And you know, so I had this idea that I saw Jenna Marbles do a video where she followed her dog around for 24 hours and an entire day, and just showed like what life was like. And so last week I started filming this video because I wanted to do something like that. I wanted to be like a day in the life with my cats, and I didn't finish it because I don't know why I didn't finish it that day. I did start it. I got some video of her, and it makes me feel so bad because I never did finish it, so I never will have that. I thought, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and I didn't. Because life, you know, just starts getting in the way. But then when something like this happens, you realize you have there's nothing that's important enough to not spend time with the people and things that you love. And it made me seem so stupid, but I'm having the hardest time getting over it. And so I needed to make this video because I needed to move on from it. And I don't know how, because the house is so empty without her. It feels so different here. I walk into areas where she was, because every morning, that's why I wanted to make this video. We have our routine. Every morning I would wake up and I would go to the bathroom and she would be in there waiting. She would stand up, she would start meowing at me to turn the shower on for her because she wanted to go in and drink water from the shower. I would turn the shower on, she would drink, we would walk downstairs, she would follow me, I would feed her her food and stand there while she ate because all the other cats would try to eat her food, and sometimes you'd have to hold the plate for her because it just made her want to eat more knowing that you were feeding her by hand. I mean, she was a lot of work, and that little routine would last the entire day. I mean, you'd feed her almost every half hour, 45 minutes all day long. I mean, upwards of 20 times a day. And I would do it because I want her to be happy and I want her to be fed. And when you would sit down to eat your food, she'd come over and she'd poke you, hoping to get some of your food, and I would always give her some, you know. And it's weird because now when we eat, I don't have this little kitty sitting there poking at me, and when I take a shower, there's no kitty out there wanting water, and it just feels weird because every day before, when they're around and life is just the way that it is and everything's just moving at its normal pace, those days blur together, those days run together. They are all just little blips of memories here and there. But the day that they pass and you no longer have them, that day sticks out as a completely different feeling day. It's like solemn, different. It feels different than any other day, and it stands alone as its own memory that I can't explain until you've been through it. It just, I hate it. I hate the way it feels. I hate how life feels different, but life goes on for everybody else. But for you, it doesn't go on quite the same. And I have a different perspective on death now that I've lost my mom, because you realize how final it all is, and how everything that you've been through up until that point will just be a memory that you can look back on, and you can't create new memories with that person or thing. And people who haven't experienced it can't get it. And it's the same with my kitty. Like, it sounds so crazy, but until you love something, because love is just love. Like, it doesn't matter if it's for a cat or if it's for a person, it's love. And that's why it's so hard, because I just loved her very much. And she's a very good girl. And so on Friday, I called the vet and I scheduled as the veterinarian that I worked for 5 years. And they came out and I had them do it here at the home because I didn't want her to be scared, and I didn't want her to not know where she was or have her last moments be fearful. I just wanted her to pass in her sleep. And so it was right here on this bed in my bedroom, and they give her a little sedative first. So I gave her that. She didn't even seem to feel it. And she just walked right over to me and put her little forehead on my forehead and fell asleep. And she was purring the whole time. So I think she was happy. And I think she had no idea what was happening, which almost makes it harder because they don't know. You can't explain to them, like, this is the last time we're gonna see each other. Like, you just tell them you love them 8 million times. And she passed very peacefully right here on our bed, comfy and warm and loved. And it was such a beautiful experience. I wish every passing could be as gentle and full of love as that was. And I'm glad that that's my last memory of her. And I'm having a really hard time with it because I really love kitties and I really love my girl. And I really miss her very, very, very much. And it's really hard for me to give a fucking shit about makeup, talking about makeup, when inside I just want to cry. And I do cry all the time. If I just walk around my house, it's got such a different feeling in it. It just feels empty and quiet. And all of my other kitties even seem sad. They just seem like they understand that things are different and it just feels different. And so she lived a really long life. And I'm very, very grateful for how long she did live. And she just was such a good girl, very talkative and very sweet, always sweet. Not scared of anything, not scared of dogs, not scared of other cats. She always had to eat first because she was the one that made the rules. I mean, she was the one. And I even was going through home movies last year. We have some VHS tapes, and I found a video of her from right when we got her, right when she was a kitten, playing on a little cat tower we bought her. And to see her in the first house that we bought as a family 20 years ago, 22 years ago. I mean, I'm just a little kid with no life experience, just listening to Hanson in the living room, and my mom and dad in the background, and this little kitten that has grown up with me through my entire life. And not having her here feels so bizarre. And so we took her to get cremated on Saturday. And the crematoria we took her to is wonderful, beautiful, so kind and so gentle. And we chose to do a water cremation for her, which I guess is totally safe for the planet. It's not bad for the planet, it's more gentle for her. And we chose to get a little paw print and a little nose print and a little clipping of her hair. I just want to remember her forever, and I'm so sad I didn't film that video, but I will put a little bit of a video in of my girl.
Want some? She's asking you. Oh wait, you want some chicken or? You hungry? Let's get breakfast, Mama. Let's go. Oh yes. Oh, I know. I know.
So hungry.
You're cute. You're so cute. Let me go get my coat.
Okay. Will you get me a blanket or something? Mommy wants in.
Her purr is so quiet. She's getting happier after that nose pet. Now she's actually getting really sleepy. Yeah. If I pet her anywhere, she gets really sleepy.
She's a mother.
And her nose is her sleepy spot.
Her nose is her sleepy spot?
She's
Yeah, if you
sleepy.
pet her right here.
She likes her food too, yeah.
And her nose too.
She's a good girl. Mama, she's such a good girl. I'm so sorry. So sorry. And I'm sorry you're uncomfortable, my love. I'm so sorry. I just want to move past it. I'm gonna put something up on Instagram, and I want those to be the last posts where we talk about it. There will be posts coming up that I have pre-filmed, and I don't want the comment sections of those to just be full of, you know, rest in peace Snickers. And let's leave that on this video and on the Instagram posts so that, you know, I'm not constantly reminded of it, because anytime that I think about it, I burst into tears. I have had so many times this last weekend where I'm just like a blubbering mess. I swear I've never cried that much in my life. Like, I was an actual wreck. I was so dehydrated. There was no liquid left in my body from how much I cried. And being able to not film and not work and just spend time with Zach and just cry when I want to and do all of that is really, really nice. And I'm so thankful that this is my job, that I can take the time when I need it and just grieve. You're gonna probably see some things this week that I have pre-recorded. I hope you like them. I think they're good videos. I'm sorry I didn't get the Game of Thrones collection out before the launch. It was going to come out on Friday, the video was. I woke up ultra early at like 7 a.m. to film so I could film, edit, upload same day so I could get the Game of Thrones collection out for you before the show released, which was lovely and I loved it. But I don't even know if I should film it now. I don't know if it's irrelevant. I don't know if the collection is sold out. I have no idea about anything. I thank you guys for watching this video and just being understanding, and I love really, really hard. I love everything that I love to an unhealthy degree, to the point where I love it so deeply in my soul that it just eats me alive. And seeing something that you love so much go through so much and trying to do everything you can, but having it still, you know, it extended her life by about 8 months. I think I can't beat myself up about something. No, it doesn't do any good. I've never had to make this decision for a pet before. This is the first time I've had to make this decision for a pet. I've never had to put a pet down before, and it is horrible. I'm just glad she's not suffering, and I'm glad that I had the counsel of my vet, because he did make the remark, it's better to do it one day too soon than one day too late. And she was going so downhill so quick. I think we did make the right decision to keep her from unnecessary suffering. And I'm so thankful that they came out to our house and did it here. What a beautiful, beautiful thing that they offer. And if you have the option to do that for your pet, I would highly suggest it, because she just thought she was sleeping in her own bed, you know, she didn't know. And I think that that's how I would want to go. I thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna be absent for a while, other than the pre-recorded content that you guys are gonna see. And I love you so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
I get right home and look. 1, 2, 3. They're all here. What are you guys doing, huh? And that's cutie. Oh, it's sneezing, mother. Oh,
Gross.
what are you doing?